Welcome everyone. Welcome to the EACC Alumni series. And this is what we are starting new. And I'm very happy today because we have with us Miss Nissy Franco Paul. She is one of the few students who have a tremendous profile and she has a lot to share with us. So Nissy, basically, can you welcome to the show and if you can
Thank
introduce.
you, Richard. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, if you can introduce yourself a little bit.
All right, sure. So my name is Nissy Franco Paul, and right now I'm back in India for holidays. Well, I'm settled down in Geneva, and right now I'm graduating for my PhD in September. And I think I go way back to 2015, where we started talking with Richard. And ever since then, and my journey has been amazing. And then so I do have a lot to share when it comes to the new students and everything. All right, so I'm basically from Kerala, to the south, and I come from Thrissur, which is like a small town and everything. But I did grow up in the Middle East, so it was kind of a path for me to come down to India and then do my study abroad from here. So I think with the studies in Middle East, it was kind of like you're packed. You don't have the exposure. You're kind of like packed within where you live. You don't have like any way more exposure with like international students. Basically, you're limited to Indian students. So from there, I think it was kind of like a totally different step for me when I had to come down to India. And then I was thinking, okay, I should do my masters somewhere else. So I think after finishing my bachelor's, that's when I started looking out, where to go, what to do next. Should I like start working and everything? But I think it was kind of easy, I think, when I got into contact with you, because like you were there, like you were literally there every day to to call and then to tell me so and so. Like, even though I was like a difficult person to deal with, because my profile was kind of tricky when it comes to a student profile, because I did my bachelor's but I didn't get my certificate, so it was like a big delay. And then so I think we enrolled for bachelor's at first at
Right.
EU.
Right.
And then I did receive my I did receive my invitation. I did receive my acceptance for my bachelor's. And then I think a week later or 2 weeks later, I did get my certificates. So I was like, listen, Richard, like I don't want this because I wanted to do for MBA. And then you were like, this is the first time a student is getting accepted for bachelor's and for master's at the same time with the
Right.
same profile. Exactly. So it was a bit of a funny situation that we had back then. And so I think the guidance was really good, at the time. Me finishing with my bachelor's, like where you stand students on a mental stage at the time. So you're not that old, you don't have experiences and everything. So for me, it was like, I would just take it, anything, what was on the table. It was that, at the time. But then I think everyone was a bit surprised by the fact that they had to issue me the acceptance letter for bachelor's and as well as for MBA at the same time within a month. So with the same profile, to be honest, you know.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, so it was kind of like everyone was like a bit surprised, but it did went well. Like honestly, that was like one of the best decision I had taken. And definitely, I would definitely say that did change my profile a lot, my career, my academic profile, and definitely not my character, but the quality that I, took out from the experience. So it was amazing.
Wow. You were always a confident girl because you studied abroad in Middle East. And when you came back, you were confident. You were a little bit more confident than a lot of the Indian students. And you were very expressive. You knew you were very expressive when you said, when you got bachelor's and later on you got certificate, you said, if I want to go for master's. So you're very
Right.
expressive. So that helped a lot because students sometimes don't communicate much. So let me
Right.
start with the interview straight away without taking much of the time. Let me.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks for sharing. In your introduction the entire journey that we had, and
Yeah.
I have some interview questions for you. Okay, first,
Okay.
basically,
Sure.
this is the first interview alumni. We are having it, and we'll be having it on the YouTube as well. So, Nissy Franco Paul, welcome to the EACC Alumni First Interview Show. And the first question that I have for you is, which year did you take our study abroad counseling? You mentioned that. Do you
Yeah.
remember any of your experience that you would like to share?
Definitely. It was back in 2015 where I took your study program. And I think we got into talking around June, July. Yeah. So that was like the approximate month I remember, June to July, because I was like a late student. And then the experiences, to be honest, it was pretty clear for me. I didn't have any I didn't have any, how do I say, confusions. I was not misguided, I was properly guided towards what I wanted, because I was sure that I made clear that what I want and this is what I want. I think nowadays students have to be more precise on what they want, not what the study abroad wants.
Right.
That's something the students have to communicate really well, because right now what I see outside is that they say that they want to study, that's all. They're not
Right.
sure what they want, where they want to go, and what are their goals, and why do they take up a course. Right now they just go to a study abroad program and they say that they just want to study.
Right.
Whatever cheap comes, let me take it, or I just want to go. That's all they make it clear.
Right.
So it's important for them to know their capacity, their capability, and what they want, rather than what the study program tells you to. And I think with you, that was more of it, because I told you this is what I want. And you actually told me, okay, let me get what you wanted in the same way. And I really appreciate it. Rather than you suggesting what you want me to do, you accepted what I wanted. You took the information, and then you actually, moved forward with that. And I really appreciate you for the kind of, guidance that you provided me with.
So,
Oh, no
question
problem.
is basically, which year did you take our study abroad counseling? Do you remember any of your experiences that you would like to share?
Okay, so I think I took out the study program in 2015, and it was around June to July. I did contact you, and I did come across your profile somehow. I have no idea how it happened. Definitely, I don't remember like how did I get your contact. So it was kind of a blur, a memory for me. But then experience was pretty good. Like I can say it was one of a rare experience that I had with the study program, because normally what students these days do is that they just tell the study program, counselors, I just want to study abroad. That's all they have. All right. But with you, I remember me telling you, okay, this is what I want. This is the course I exactly want to do. And this is the place I want to do. So it was pretty clear. And then you didn't tell me, I do have other programs, I do have other options and everything. All you did was you actually worked in a certain way that you fit into my calculations, not me the other way. So
Right.
that was pretty one of the impressive things that I found with your program. Because students nowadays have to think in a certain way that you don't take what's on the table, you serve what's with you.
Right.
It's important.
Right.
Tell the student counselors what you want, what are your goals, and what are your capacity, the capabilities, so that they can work according to you, not the other way around, because the program comes cheap. You can travel
Right.
cheap.
Right.
It's time that students need to recognize that it's not about going abroad. It's about the experience that you gain. And definitely, if you want to shape your career, what do you want to take? What course would you want to take? It's all important. It's not like you take a course like somewhere in one of the extreme places where there's no development. In Europe, exactly, in Europe I can talk about. It's not about you going there, it's not about showing, it's more about your life and your career with whatever you learned throughout the year, and you just take it forward. And with you, I must really appreciate how you guided me towards my course, my arrangements to go abroad, because you were on instant contact. You were there, and I think we did literally speak to almost every day. You know, I did this. I was like, listen, Richard, I need help with this. And you're like, yeah, sure, Nissy. And, that was there because I'm a person like I'm consistently, following up what I want. I'm not someone like I would just say it and just leave it on the table. And you understood that really well. You understood what I wanted, and you literally were on point with that. You were there. You just told me, okay, if that's what you want, let's do what you want, So I must say it was really impressive of you, and I definitely would suggest. I think even after that, I did contact you multiple times, So
Right.
they were like, oh, yeah, exactly. So with whatever I was doing, I did, update you with that. So something, to share with the people.
Thank you, Nissy, for all those basically sharings and for saying so good about me as well. Now, Nissy, one important fact is that in 2015, you were in Kerala, I
Yeah.
was in Mumbai, and we did our online counseling.
Yes,
Okay,
exactly.
not on Zoom, but most of the time was on phone and
Yeah.
emails, right?
Yeah.
So I
Definitely.
had started the online counseling way back in 2014, 2015, and then the
Mhm.
pandemic came, and then basically, things moved. So it's wonderful that
Yes.
we could, at that point of time, and also we could do this, and we could basically be connected, and you were very expressive, as I said, and we could do this entire study abroad counseling process. So physical presence was not required. It was only that if you are able to get what you want, then
Yes.
it is no matter wherever you are and which place you are, it is not an issue at all, right?
Definitely. Yeah, I think with the right person, everything comes along well. It doesn't matter you see them physical. I mean, with calls, if you just communicate really well, things work out too.